Our Torah speaks to every part of the human being. It speaks to our deeds, to our hearts, and to our minds. Most weeks, I try to pick a thought that primarily inspires the heart. This week, I'd like to try something different. I'd like to appeal to the mind, to offer you a taste into the richness of chassidic philosophy. This week's Parsha, Ve'eschanan, contains some of the deepest verses in all of Torah, verses that form the basic tenets of Kabbalah and Chassidus. Perhaps the most famous is the one we recite every single Shabbos before opening the Ark. Ata hareisa ladas, ki Hashem hu Elokim, ein oid milvadoi. Essentially, this statement declares that reality is non-existent. There is nothing outside Hashem. Of course, this raises some big questions. How do we resolve this verse with our daily experience of the outside world, with all its complexity and detail? Can both be true? Is that possible? Chassidim tell a story of the great chassid Rabbi of Zembin, who met a professor of Bible studies in the anteroom of the Rebbe Marash. While waiting for their turn to go into the Rebbe, the chassid asked the professor why he came. The professor told him that he was bothered by the very verse we mentioned before. Ein oid milvadoi. How can there be nothing besides God? Every single morning, I wake up and look out of my window, and I see a whole bustling world. How can we just erase it and claim there is only God? I really think we need to edit the Torah, he concluded. Rabbi Avram replied, it's very interesting. I came to consult the Rebbe on the exact same verse. But my question is entirely different. Since the Torah is clear that there is no entity besides God, how is it possible that my eyes see a vibrant world? It must be a mirage. In the end, they decided to enter the Rebbe's room together. When they presented their dilemma, the Rebbe told them that their question was valid and the contradiction was a good one. But since it is written in the Torah clearly, Bereishis bara Elokim, that Hashem indeed created the world, so it's surely not an illusion, and the world is as real as it gets. The meaning of Ein oid milvadoi is that at its core, the world should not be perceived as separate from God, but as a continuum of His identity. It's an extension of His absolute truth. By default, the world as we see it doesn't support this truth, but it's up to each and every one of us to reveal it. By making use of all the world's components for godly purposes, by using our material possessions for mitzvahs, by using technology to spread Torah, by using our physical talents for holy enterprises, it becomes more and more apparent that the essence of everything indeed is Hashem. Ein oid milvadoi. Wishing you and yours a Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach.